Hey everyone, and a massive welcome back to the channel. It's genuinely fantastic to see you all here again, ready to dive into another session focused on making our lives just that little bit more efficient and, dare I say, enjoyable. I always get a real buzz from sharing these ideas, especially when I know they have the potential to make a tangible difference in your day-to-day routines. We're all on this journey of continuous improvement together, and I'm thrilled you've chosen to spend some of your valuable time with us today. So grab a notebook, maybe a cup of tea, and let's get ready to explore some game-changing strategies. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's incredibly close to my heart: productivity. Specifically, we'll be unpacking 10 productivity hacks that I truly believe will help you supercharge your day and, crucially, get more done in less time without feeling overwhelmed or burnt out. These aren't just theoretical concepts, they're practical, actionable techniques that I've personally experimented with and refined over the years, both during my time as a medical student and now as a creator. The goal here isn't to turn you into a productivity robot, but to equip you with tools that free up time and mental energy for the things that truly matter to you. If you're someone who often feels like there just aren't enough hours in the day, or if you find yourself struggling to stay focused amidst a sea of distractions, then you've absolutely come to the right place. This video is for you if you're looking to boost your efficiency, reclaim your time, and make significant progress on your goals. We'll be covering a range of techniques, from structuring your day to building better habits, all designed to help you work smarter, not just harder. So, if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you stick around because I promise it'll be worth your while. Over the next little while, we're going to journey through these 10 distinct productivity hacks, breaking each one down into understandable and, more importantly, implementable steps. We'll explore the why behind each hack, because understanding the principles makes them so much easier to adopt, and then we'll get into the how, with practical tips you can start using immediately. Think of this as your personal toolkit for building a more productive and fulfilling life. My aim is for you to leave this video not just with knowledge, but with a clear action plan. So let's not waste any more time and get straight into our first game-changing hack. All right, kicking things off with our very first productivity hack, and it's a real cornerstone of effective time management: time blocking. Now, what exactly is time blocking? In its simplest form, it's the practice of scheduling out your day by allocating specific blocks of time to specific tasks or activities. Instead of just having a to-do list and vaguely hoping you'll get through it, you're essentially creating a detailed itinerary for your day, much like you would for a series of appointments. This means every task, from important project work to emails and even breaks, gets a dedicated slot in your calendar. It's about being intentional with your time. So why is time blocking so incredibly effective? Well, one of the main reasons is that it helps combat Parkinson's law, which, as you might know, states that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. If you give yourself all day to write a report, it'll likely take all day. But if you allocate a specific 2-hour block, you create a sense of urgency and focus. Furthermore, by pre-committing to what you're going to do and when, you significantly reduce the mental energy spent on deciding what to tackle next. This clarity allows you to dive straight into deep work with fewer distractions, making your efforts far more productive. The benefits of adopting time blocking are genuinely transformative. Firstly, it provides immense clarity on how you're actually spending your time versus how you think you're spending it, which can be a real eye-opener. Secondly, it's a fantastic antidote to procrastination because when a task is scheduled, it feels more like a commitment, making it harder to put off. It also helps you become much better at estimating how long tasks will realistically take, which is a superpower in itself. And perhaps most importantly, it ensures that you're making time for your priorities, not just getting caught up in the whirlwind of urgent but unimportant tasks that often derail our days. Personally, when I first started experimenting with time blocking, I'll admit it felt a bit rigid. I was used to a more fluid approach, but I quickly realized that this fluidity often just meant I was getting distracted or working on less important things. It took a bit of practice to get the hang of estimating task durations accurately and to build in enough buffer time, but once I did, the difference was night and day. I felt more in control, less stressed, and I was consistently achieving more of what I set out to do. It fundamentally changed how I approached my workload, especially during those intense study periods in med school. Moving on to our second productivity hack, which is all about building positive momentum and achieving long-term goals, habit tracking. So, what exactly is habit tracking? It's the simple, yet incredibly powerful act of measuring whether you did or did not perform a specific habit on a given day. This could be anything from drinking enough water, exercising, meditating, reading for 30 minutes, or working on a side project. The act of tracking creates a visual record of your progress, making your efforts tangible and providing a feedback loop that reinforces your commitment to building positive routines in your life. Why does something as simple as putting a tick in a box or marking a calendar hold so much power? Well, a lot of it comes down to psychology. Firstly, habit tracking makes the invisible visible. Many of our daily actions are performed on autopilot, and by consciously tracking a new habit, we bring it to the forefront of our awareness. This awareness is the first step towards change. Secondly, it taps into our innate desire for progress and achievement. Seeing a streak of successful days build up can be incredibly motivating, creating a positive feedback loop that encourages you to keep going even when you don't feel like it. The consistency that habit tracking fosters is absolutely key for achieving any significant long-term goal. James Clear, in his brilliant book Atomic Habits, talks extensively about how small, consistent actions compound over time to produce remarkable results. Tracking helps you stay accountable to these small actions. It's not about achieving perfection from day one, but about showing up consistently. Each time you track a completed habit, you're casting a vote for the type of person you want to become. Over time, these small wins accumulate, building not just the habit itself, but also your self-efficacy and belief in your ability to change. I can personally attest to the power of habit tracking. There have been numerous habits I've wanted to build over the years, from daily journaling to regular exercise, and the ones that truly stuck were almost always the ones I actively tracked. I remember when I was trying to build a consistent writing habit. For the first few weeks it was tough, but seeing that visual chain of X's on my calendar, representing each day I wrote, became a powerful motivator. I didn't want to break the chain, and that simple visual cue often provided the nudge I needed to sit down and write, even on days when inspiration felt miles away. All right, let's dive into our third productivity hack, the mighty morning routine. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, another lecture about waking up at 5 a.m., but hear me out, because a well-crafted morning routine isn't about punishing yourself with an early alarm. It's about intentionally designing the first hour or so of your day to set a positive, productive tone for everything that follows. It's the difference between stumbling into your day, reacting to whatever demands scream loudest, and striding into it with clarity and purpose. This simple shift can fundamentally change your relationship with your workload and your overall sense of well-being. When you start your day with a series of small intentional actions that you control, you immediately cultivate a sense of agency and reduce decision fatigue. Instead of waking up and instantly being bombarded by emails, notifications, and the urgent demands of others, you're carving out sacred time for yourself. This proactive approach helps to significantly lower stress levels because you're beginning from a place of calm and preparedness rather than chaos and reactivity. This feeling of control is a cornerstone of sustained productivity and mental clarity. Beyond the immediate psychological uplift, a dedicated morning routine is a powerful engine for long-term productivity and goal achievement. Those seemingly small, consistent actions you take each morning, whether it's 10 minutes of reading, a quick workout, or planning your day, compound over time. This is the magic of habit stacking and the aggregation of marginal gains. Each productive morning builds upon the last, creating momentum that carries you towards your larger aspirations. It's about investing in your future self, one intentional morning at a time. By prioritizing activities that align with your goals, be it learning, health, or focused work, you're ensuring that progress, however incremental, is made consistently before the inevitable distractions of the day take hold. This proactive investment is what separates high achievers from those who merely dream. Now let's bust a common myth. Your morning routine doesn't need to be an elaborate, multi-hour affair, nor does it require you to become a super early riser if that's just not your chronotype. The most effective morning routine is the one that works for and is sustainable in the long run. Personalization is absolutely key here. It could be as simple as hydrating with a glass of water, doing a few stretches, and reviewing your to-do list for 5 minutes. The goal isn't to replicate someone else's perfect Instagrammable routine, but to identify a few core activities that help you feel centered, energized, and focused. Experiment, iterate, and find what genuinely resonates with your personal needs and lifestyle, making it a source of joy rather than another chore to tick off. All right, productivity hack number 4 is a classic, and for very good reason, the Pomodoro technique. If you've ever struggled with procrastination or maintaining focus, this technique could be a game changer. Developed by Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s, its beauty lies in its simplicity. The name Pomodoro comes from the tomato-shaped kitchen timer he used. The technique involves 25-minute work intervals called pomodoros, separated by short breaks. This system helps you start and keep going, one focused burst at a time. The 25-minute sprint creates a sense of urgency, but it's manageable. It's long enough to make progress, but short enough to avoid feeling daunting. This method improves attention span and concentration over time. The built-in breaks prevent mental fatigue and burnout. The Pomodoro technique is versatile and can be adapted to various tasks. Experiment with different intervals to find what works best for you. Okay, let's talk about productivity hack number 5. Prioritization. Prioritization is fundamental, but often challenging. We rush through tasks, feeling busy but not productive. This is the urgency trap, reacting to what's urgent rather than important. Effective prioritization combats this, focusing on key tasks. Tools like the Eisenhower matrix help cut through the noise. They guide us to invest time wisely, achieving our goals. Hey friends, and welcome back. Our digital devices are incredible tools, connecting us to a world of information and each other. They promise enhanced productivity and instant access to knowledge, but there's a flip side. Constant notifications and endless social media feeds. This can leave us feeling overwhelmed and unable to focus. We often reach for our phones reflexively, even during conversations. A digital detox can help us reclaim control over our attention and time. It's about creating deliberate pockets of disconnection to engage more deeply with the world. Cultivate a healthier, more mindful relationship with your devices. Think of it like a dietary cleanse for your mind. All right, let's dive into our next productivity hack, which is a personal favorite of mine because it's so simple yet incredibly effective: task batching. So what exactly is task batching? At its core, it's the practice of grouping similar tasks together and completing them in one dedicated block of time, rather than scattering them throughout your day or week. Instead of, say, checking your emails every 10 minutes, you'd allocate a specific slot, maybe twice a day, just for emails. Instead of making one phone call now, another in an hour, and a third later in the afternoon, you'd batch all your calls into a single session. It sounds straightforward, and it is. But the underlying psychology is quite powerful. The main villain that task batching helps us conquer is something called context switching. Every time you shift your attention from one type of task to a completely different one, say from writing a report to answering an email, then to planning a meeting, then back to the report, your brain has to mentally reconfigure. It needs to load up the context for the new task, the relevant information, the required mindset, the specific tools or software. This mental gear shifting isn't instantaneous, and it certainly isn't free. There's a cognitive cost associated with each switch, a small residue of attention that gets left behind, making it harder to fully immerse yourself in the new activity. Many of us engage in this rapid-fire context, switching far more often than we realize, especially in today's digitally driven work environments where notifications constantly vie for our attention. We might think we're being super productive by multitasking, but research like that from Professor Gloria Mark at UC Irvine suggests that it can take over 20 minutes to regain full concentration after an interruption. Imagine the cumulative time loss and mental energy drain if you're switching tasks every few minutes. It's like trying to drive a car by constantly slamming the accelerator and then the brakes. You'll burn a lot of fuel and make very slow progress, all while feeling incredibly frazzled and inefficient. This constant cognitive load from frequent context switching is a major contributor to mental fatigue and that feeling of being busy all day but not actually achieving much. Your brain is working incredibly hard, but a lot of that effort is being spent on the act of switching itself rather than on productive output. It's like a computer trying to run too many demanding programs simultaneously. Everything slows down, performance degrades, and the system becomes unstable. By understanding this hidden cost, we can start to appreciate why a seemingly simple technique like task batching can have such a profound impact on our efficiency and our overall sense of calm and control throughout the workday. Hey everyone, now let's talk about something that underpins almost every productivity strategy we discuss: goal setting. It might sound a bit basic, a bit productivity 101, but honestly, without clear, well-defined goals, all the hacks and techniques in the world won't get you very far. Goals are essentially the compass that guides your efforts, providing direction, focus, and a reason to push through challenges. They transform vague aspirations into tangible targets, giving you a clear destination to aim for. Without them, you're essentially sailing without a map, expending energy but potentially just drifting aimlessly, hoping to land somewhere worthwhile. The problem many of us encounter, and I've certainly been guilty of this in the past, is setting goals that are too vague or ill-defined. Think about common aspirations like I want to be more productive, or I want to learn a new skill, or I want to get healthier. While the intention behind these is great, they lack the specificity needed to create a clear action plan or to measure progress effectively. How do you know when you've become more productive? What does healthier actually look like in practice? This ambiguity can lead to a lack of motivation and a feeling of being overwhelmed, because the path forward isn't clear and the finish line is nowhere in sight. This is where the SMART framework for goal setting becomes an incredibly powerful tool. It's an acronym that provides a structured approach to defining your objectives, making them far more actionable and achievable. I'm sure many of you have heard of it, but it's worth revisiting because mastering its application can genuinely revolutionize how you approach your ambitions, both big and small. It takes those fuzzy wishes and sharpens them into concrete plans. It forces you to think critically about what you want to achieve and how you're actually going to get there, moving you from passive hoping to active doing. It's a framework I use consistently for my personal and professional projects. So what does SMART actually stand for? It's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Each of these components plays a crucial role in transforming a general idea into a powerful catalyst for action. Being specific ensures clarity. Measurable allows you to track your progress. Achievable keeps your goals realistic yet challenging. Relevant ensures your goals align with your broader values and objectives. And time-bound creates a sense of urgency and provides a deadline. In the next section, we'll break down each of these elements so you can start crafting goals that truly set you up for success and keep you motivated on your journey. All right, team, let's dive into our 9th productivity hack, and this one is a real game changer, especially as your responsibilities grow. Delegation. Delegation isn't just for managers, it's about entrusting tasks to others, freeing up your time and mental bandwidth. It requires trust, clear communication, and a willingness to let go. By offloading tasks, you can focus on high-impact activities. Start small, like managing emails or scheduling appointments. The key is to begin. And that brings us to our 10th and final productivity hack, which is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated yet profoundly impactful regular reflection and review. We spend so much time focusing on ticking off tasks and hitting deadlines that we often forget to pause and assess how things are actually going. Reflection and review is the cornerstone of continuous improvement in any area of life, and productivity is no exception. It's about understanding the process, learning from your experiences, and making intentional adjustments to steer your efforts more effectively. Without reflection, we're essentially flying blind, repeating the same mistakes and missing opportunities to optimize our strategies. A consistent review process allows you to identify what systems are truly working for you, which habits are sticking, what obstacles keep tripping you up, and why. The true power of reflection and review doesn't just lie in the act of looking back. It's in how you use those insights to inform your future actions. By consistently making time to look back and learn, you're ensuring that you're not just busy, but genuinely, effectively, and sustainably productive day after day. And there you have it. 10 productivity hacks designed to help you supercharge your day and achieve more of what matters to you. Thanks so much for watching this video all the way through. If you found these strategies and insights helpful, and I genuinely hope you did, please do give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel reach more people who might benefit from this content. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos packed with more productivity tips, study techniques, and strategies for living a more intentional and effective life. I'm really curious to hear from you all. Which of these 10 hacks resonated with you the most, or which one are you planning to try out first? Please let me know down in the comments section below. Your engagement is incredibly valuable. It not only helps me understand what content you find most useful, but it also fosters a brilliant community where we can all learn from each other's experiences and experiments. Perhaps you have your own variations of these hacks or other tips that work wonders for you. Feel free to share those too. I always love reading through your thoughts and suggestions. Remember, the core message I want you to take away from this video is that productivity isn't about rigidly adhering to a set of rules. It's a personal journey of experimentation, self-discovery, and finding what genuinely works for and your unique circumstances. These hacks are tools in your arsenal, not a one-size-fits-all prescription. My advice would be to not try and implement all 10 at once, as that can be overwhelming. Instead, pick one or two that seem most appealing or address your biggest current challenge, and focus on integrating them into your routine. Small, consistent changes compound over time to create massive results. Thank you once again for joining me today. I truly appreciate you investing your time here. I'm excited to see how you take these ideas and make them your own, transforming your productivity and hopefully making your days a little less stressful and a lot more fulfilling. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep striving to be your best self. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video where we'll explore even more ways to enhance our lives. Until then, take care and stay productive.